So today we're going to be creating a Scraffito fish. So I'll put the title at the top, Scraffito fish. And I'll explain a bit more what Scraffito means in a moment. You'll need classwork and the dates written on your page, and we're going to be working landscape. So we're going to be filling our page here with our Scraffito fish. Okay, so we're going to go back to thinking about the basics of drawing a fish and how we start that off. We've spoken before about how we can use different shapes to make the main body shape. So it could be that you start, as you did with your clay design, with a circle in the middle, and I hope you can see that. I might have to draw a bit darker. It could be that you want your fish to be a bit more diamond shaped in the middle, like a kite, maybe if you put it that way. You might want a Minecraft fish. You might want it to be more square, I don't know. Okay, so if I go back to my first one, you're then going to start to think about obviously adding on your fins and your face and your tail. So it might be that I add my face on from there, a fin, another fin at the bottom, and then a tail. I always go in with my tail there as well, it really helps with the drawing. Okay, so I can build up my fish shape like this, and remember there might be a fin in the middle. Something to say is that we are going to be using oil pastels to create our Scraffito, okay? So I'm not making any of my features too small. Say if I show you on this one, say if I'd decided then to do a small little mouth, a fin that's only tiny going around here, and then lots of little bits of detail on these bits here. Although it might look quite nice, it's not appropriate for the material we're going to be using if you have very thin areas. A bit like if you had a piece of clay, we wouldn't be making any of the areas too thin because they might come off. Okay, so it's an alright fish drawing, but it's not quite what we want today. So we want to make the features nice and big. So I am going to have a fin on the side of the body, and I'm going to have an eye. I'm going to do a Scarpe style eye though, so it's nice and big. Build in the fin here. Okay, so you just need the basic shape of your fish drawn. As I said, we're going to be using oil pastels to fill them in. But just to let you know, on your base layer, you are going to avoid using a black and a brown. Because what Scraffito is basically, you're going to fill it with lots of bright colour. We're then going to put black oil pastel all over the top, and then we're going to scratch away to reveal the colour. A little bit like foil art, if you've ever done foil art, but we're going to start from the beginning, we're going to make the foil art, okay? Now, to do this task really well, I want to see some colour blending, and I want to see that you understand areas of hot and cold colour as well. So it could be that I start on this side with my red. You might find that you need to just peel down to get rid of the packaging on the oil pastels when you start. So I'll just move this onto the camera. Now when I'm oil pasteling and I want to change colours, I will often start to fade out here, look. So I started in this corner and I've applied a really nice thick layer to the edges, but then as I've gone out, because I want to swap onto my orange because I think it'll look nice to go from red to orange because that's a colour on the colour wheel next to each other, and so it'll blend very nicely. I have started to fade out, and then what I do is I go back on top of that colour and it'll start to be a bit more seamless, my colour blending. Around this eye, I'm going to just make sure that's a different colour, so I'm going to leave that bit, I'm going to go around it, and then when I get to this edge, look, I'm going to just start to fade out again, and you might be able to guess what colour I'm going to go into next. Put your hand up now if you think you know, and your teacher will be able to ask you. Give you a minute to just guess what might come next. I'm going to go to my yellow. If you got that right, brilliant, because it sort of goes along in that route from the colour wheel, because you'd be going from your red to your secondary colour and then back to your primary colour. We're not going to do a tertiary colour because, as some of you might have noticed, you're probably going to get tertiary colours mixed in, because some of this will be yellow-orange, some of this will be red-orange. I'm going to stop there because I actually want my fins to be cold coloured, so I'm not going to go too much up there, but I am going to continue to blend this in, not leaving any white gaps. I'm going to zoom in to show you that now. There's no white gaps that have been left on this fish, okay. Now, I'm going to pause the video there, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to show you the next stages. So once you've added all your oil pastel to the background, something different's going to happen. But I'm going to leave this paused here so that you can start on that first bit of the task. after you've seen the next video. Okay, thank you.